Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff King. I'm going to tell you a little bit about someone who's near and dear to me, my son Dylan. Dylan has a rare chromosome disorder called IDIC 15. My son was 5 months old in 2003 when my wife and I first noticed that he was not reaching any of his milestones. We became concerned, and after talking with his pediatrician, decided to take him to a geneticist to have a blood test done. After the geneticist got the results of the test, he immediately called us to explain his findings. We were told that he had a rare chromosome disorder where his 15th chromosome had made 2 extra copies of itself. Therefore, he had a triplication of that chromosome, which the second copy was inverted. He then went on to explain to us the condition was a condition that he had never seen before, and that we would probably find out more about it ourselves by doing our own research. We did get online to try to find information about this rare chromosome disorder, which he has triplication of chromosome 15. And the closest thing we could find was something called isotonic 15, or what they all call IDIC 15. There's some striking similarities between people with this condition and what my son has. For example, children suffering from IDIC 15 usually don't start walking until they're age 3, which my son did not start walking until he was age 3. Matter of fact, he didn't walk, he started to run. He went from crawling to running. Children born with IDIC 15 are usually mildly to moderately intellectually disabled, which my son is moderately intellectually disabled. These children have autistic spectrum disorder, and my son has this disorder as well. He also began having seizures by his 7th birthday. He was a little over 7 years old when he began having these uncontrollable tonic-clonic seizures. Before he began having these seizures, my son was able to run. We had him talking. He was able to recite the alphabet. He knew his ABCs. He could say A, B, C, D, all the way through the alphabet. After he had these seizures, it wasn't 2 years later that he began to lose everything that he had learned. He couldn't talk. He hardly could walk. Seizures was so bad, he was having up to 15 a day. We took him everywhere. We took him, every neurologist. We did every test there can known to do. We tried different medications. It got so bad that we decided that we wanted to do what is called a vagus nerve stimulator implant, which in December of 2011, we had it implanted in him, and right away it started to work. He wasn't having the seizures. He started to improve a lot, but then within 3 months' time, he started having seizures again, and he was back to square one, and he was up to having 9 or 10 seizures a day, which he began to stop talking. He would do nothing but lay around on the couch. He didn't have no joy. He was like a different kid than how he used to be. What a vagus nerve stimulator is an implant that they put inside. It's kind of like a pacemaker, and theoretically it's supposed to stop the seizures. Of course it didn't. It only worked to an extent on my son. This rare chromosome disorder, we didn't know if it was inherited from my wife or myself, so we went and had genetic tests done on us and found out that it was not from either one of us, but it's just a rare occurrence that just so happened. It could happen to anybody, and it just so happened it happened to him. A lot of things about this disorder is, as I once said, is like autism, in which my son, when he first was diagnosed with it, when he started being able to walk and talk and do things, he had a lot of autistic spectrum disorder, which he would like to spin around or watch things spin around. And you know, his language was actually rote language. He never actually expressed himself independently, but if he would hear you talk, he would talk. And it's with this disorder, we just went through a lot of ups and downs. We were real devastated when he started having seizures, because, like I said, we've tried everything, and they just seemed to rob him of his life. We had him at different doctors trying to try everything to see if it would work. But recently, 2 months ago, we decided to try this new medication, and I've never even heard of it. It's called Vampat, and the neurologist asked us to check it out and to see if it could work for him. And we actually did some research on it, and we were actually really surprised about the results. That most people, it was like a miracle drug. So we figured, well, we don't have nothing to lose, so we went ahead and got him on this stuff. And right away we noticed the difference. He started taking it, and we started to see him kind of coming out of the cobwebs, and he started to actually become the child we know. So it's been about a little over a month, and I can say my son is walking again. He doesn't need a chair to, a wheelchair to ride back and forth in. He doesn't need a helmet anymore. He used to have a helmet where he would fall, because he would fall and hurt himself time after time, and we were going back and forth to the emergency room to take him to make sure everything was all right. But I can say that I've noticed a big difference in him. He's back to talking. He's back to walking. The smile that we've missed is back. And I mean, it's awesome. I can say that this is a miracle drug, and I'm very thankful that it's working. Now, I know we still got a lot of issues to deal with, because, like I said, he's got a chromosome disorder. And though he's going to be 10 years old, actually in his mind he may be 3 years old. So he does a lot of things that a 2 or 3 year old would do, and he's not potty trained, so we're still dealing with that, but we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. I thank you for providing me this time and your attention for the past few minutes. I have tried to provide you with some information concerning this rare chromosome disorder. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason for this. This just is something that happens, and hopefully I can raise some awareness for it. Early diagnosis and intervention is imperative for the treatment of children who suffer from this rare condition. Implementing a special education program to help these children reach their maximum potential. Early preventive measures can make a vital difference in the life of children with this disorder. We're just so happy that this worked, and hopefully that this will work for other people that suffers these seizures. Thank you for providing me this time, and good evening.